The wildfire that continues to burn in Fritch has already claimed at least one life.
News Channel 10's Angelica Brown joins us now live from Fritch with the latest on containment efforts. Angelica.
Well, Michelle, we've been talking to residents and officials all morning, and most of them are saying they didn't think that this was going to be as big as it was. Now, earlier we told you 75% of the fire was contained, but that's just for the city of Fritch. As far as the incident goes, 35% of the fire has been contained. There are still pockets of fire in the canyon, but firefighters are not able to get to it. Officials tell us 2,583 acres have been burned, and there are 131 structural damages. Of those structural damages, 89 of those were homes. We have also confirmed of one person that has died. It was a homeowner in the area. Crews are doing a house-to-house search right now, and they're trying to update any other information that they can of houses that have been damaged or injuries. The cause of the fire is still not available to us, but we're working on getting that information, and as we continue to follow this story. Reporting live in Fritch, Angelica Brown, News Channel 10.
Many residents in Fritch are looking for answers about whether their homes are even still standing.
News Channel 10's Madison Allowell is also live in Fritch with where residents can go for the most up-to-date information.
Officials are now using the Fritch City Hall Annex as their main information center. They will post information about damaged and untouched properties at the annex. Right now, fire crews are still going door to door to assess the damage, so there's not a whole lot of information in that regard. But as soon as it becomes available, they say they will post it at that annex. And officials say evacuated areas will remain closed until tomorrow, and displaced residents can stay once again at the high school. As of right now, all Fritch schools will start tomorrow at 10 a.m. Once again, if you have any questions or need information about your property, you are encouraged to visit the Fritch City Hall Annex. Reporting live in Fritch, Madison Allowell, News Channel 10.
And as you can see, wind continues to be a factor in the fight against the wildfire. Let's send it over now to Chief Meteorologist Doppler Dave Oliver to see exactly what firefighters will be facing. Dave.
Well, Walt, that wind really threw a hitch into the firefight because, last night about 10 o'clock, we went from a very strong southwest wind to a very strong north wind, which has kind of changed the direction of that fire spread. Let's take a look at the map right now. There's the front that blew in last night. It's already pushed down into central Texas. Behind it, it's much, much cooler than yesterday. We're down about 30 to 35 degrees in some spots. The wind is still active just from that northerly direction. Now, these are some wind gusts during the last hour. We're still gusting over 30, even 40. And right there around the lake, we're gusting about 35 miles per hour. So that's not helping on the firefight as far as the wind speed. But what is helping a little bit is that northerly wind has brought the humidity up substantially. Yesterday, when the fire broke out, the humidity was down about 3 to 5%. And today it's more up to like 30% around the lake. So that's going to help, and I think the humidity will continue to go up, and the wind will drop off a bit tonight. It's still going to be brisk for a good part of the night, but we'll get that down to 10 to 20. Tomorrow it won't be as strong, more like 15 to 25, and once again I think the humidity up, temperatures will be down. So we have some elements working in favor of fighting the fire. What we don't really have is a chance of good soaking rain, although there could be some scattered showers tomorrow. I'll be back with more on that coming up. Let's send it to news.
Thank you, Dave. Fire victims can get help through the Salvation Army and the American Red Cross. News Channel 10's Sarah Macias joins us live in the News Center with more on how the surrounding communities can help.
The Amarillo and Pampa Salvation Armies, along with the Amarillo American Red Cross, are teaming up to help fire victims and emergency crews at the Fritch High School. They have been there all day and today and plan to be around as long as they are needed. Free breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be served at the Fritch Middle School cafeteria. Today, the organization served over 100 emergency crew members and victims breakfast and lunch. And dinner is going on right now. They are anticipating they will be serving around 300 meals. At this time, volunteers appreciate any donations, but are asking people to hold off until they know exactly what they will be needed.
A lot of folks have been bringing clothes and personal items, but we don't have anywhere to store that right now, so that's an issue. We don't have anywhere to keep that. Nobody's decided where they want to put that yet. So right now, we've had a lot of food donations, Walmart was wonderful. They brought a lot of food, and we've got so much back there that they've got enough to eat for a while.
Now, the Salvation Army says they anticipate to be there all day tomorrow as well, with permission to coordinate with the school schedule on using the cafeteria. Sanford Fritch ISD will have school tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Buses will not run, and the staff is asked to report at its normal time. Head to our website for more information on how you can donate to help victims at newschannel10.com. Reporting live from the News Center, Sarah Macias, News Channel 10.
Well, one of the ways you can help, the American Council of the Blind will be taking a truckload of donations to the victims of the wildfire later this week. They're in need of clothing, blankets, baby supplies, toiletries, canned food, and bottled water. You can drop off your donations before 8 Tuesday evening at 403 Southwestern or 2730 South Grand in Amarillo. The truck will be delivering the items Wednesday morning.
There's also help for those impacted by the fire who have pets. If you have a dog or cat but have nowhere to stay, you can bring them to the Hoochie Poochies on 10th Street in Borger. The owners will tell you or will let you keep your pet at the facility for free until things settle down around the area.
In our continuing coverage on the wildfire burning in Fritch, we join News Channel 10's Angelica Brown live in Fritch with the latest on the fire and what city officials said this morning. Angelica?
Michelle, the meeting earlier this morning was packed with worried and frustrated residents of Fritch. Now, the main question on everyone's mind was, when can I go home? Officials tell us no one is allowed back in the affected areas until, or no one is allowed back in the affected areas unless they need immediate assistance. And what that means is if they need to get medication or if they need to get a pet or a cat or dog or any type of animal, then someone will escort them back to their home to get that. But as far as people checking just to see if their house is still standing, that's not allowed. Officials say the fire still sits at 65% contained, but that will probably go up later on this afternoon. 2,583 acres are burned, and they don't see that going up. Officials are working on a report with structures that have been damaged, destroyed, or untouched. As of right now, 156 structures have been destroyed. Now, we're told there are 91 workers on scene doing the house-by-house search. And that's not just firefighters, that's also utility companies that are trying to restore power, to get it up and running, to make it safe for when people are allowed to go back in. The sheriff is saying that he's hoping by today, by the end of today, that they can allow people back in there, but he also says that that's not guaranteed. Reporting live in Fritch, Angelica Brown, News Channel 10.
And as Angelica mentioned, Excel crews from Texas and New Mexico are working today to restore electricity to residents in Fritch. Late Monday, Excel restored power to about 47 customers. They also determined another 136 locations will be able to receive power after more than 100 poles are reconstructed. Well, if you would like to donate to the Fritch Sanford relief efforts, there are several ways to do so. You can add $1 or more at checkout to any United supermarket in the area, or you can mail a check to the Salvation Army at P.O. Box 2490, Amarillo, Texas 79105. Or call 1-800-SAL-ARMY. Plus, Lake Meredith Baptist Church in Fritch is also taking donations. For more on relief efforts, head to our website, newschannel10.com.
It has been 4 days since the Double Diamond fire near Fritch burned through neighborhoods, and now the city begins to pick up the pieces. In our continuing coverage on this story, News Channel 10's Angelica Brown joins us now live from Fritch with the latest details on how the city is getting back to normal.
Well, the waiting game is over for people who were evacuated from their homes, and it's making people extremely relieved over that. Officials this morning were checking IDs of residents only to let them back into the area. This was at Fortress Road and Griffin Lane. The line was pretty long, but officials were able to get the line moving pretty quickly. The assessment team is now done, and they finally have a count of structures destroyed from the fire.
For homes, mobile homes, and RVs, because a lot of those were used for permanent type residential structures, a loss of 225 outbuildings, like sheds, garages, anything like that, was 143, and so that's a total of 368 total structures that were lost, and that's destroyed.
The next step on the agenda for Hutchinson County is to clean up the mess. At a meeting earlier this morning, the county judge, along with officials, talked about how the fire was declared a disaster 12 minutes after it started. Many organizations were at the meeting, like the Red Cross and United Way and Border, just to name a few. And they were not only offering funding, but they were also offering services to help people get back on their feet. Now, the fire is still contained at 85%. There are local and state fire investigators that know where the fire started but are still looking into why it started. We're working on getting that information as soon as it becomes available. Reporting live in Fritch, Angelica Brown, News Channel 10.